wunderschönen guten Abend, hier Matthias Hufnagl, das ist aber gar nicht wichtig, viel wichtiger ist, ich bin hier heute Abend im Lido mit The Courettes, welcome!
Hi, thanks for having us.
Und es ist Shop Talk Zeit, ihr wisst was das heißt, die nächsten 10 bis 15 Minuten werde ich The Courettes Fragen stellen. Flavia und Martin haben sich heute bereit erklärt, mit uns hier sich für den Shop Talk zu treffen im Lido und anschließend haben wir noch ein kleines Goodie heute. Wir verlosen ab heute nämlich bei jedem Shop Talk auch die jeweils aktuelle Platte hier, The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes. Die beiden werden das unterschreiben am Schluss und wir werden eine kleine Verlosung starten, dazu später mehr. Alright, I'm switching to English here. It will be English only. I think it's very understandable how we talk here, and I start with my first question. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for having
And
us.
it's always the first question is the same, like, can you give me a brief summary of the Courettes for anyone who hasn't heard of the band before?
So we are the Courettes from Brazil and Denmark, and we play the Courettes Wall of Sound. It's like, we like to say that it's like the Ronettes meet the Ramones for a wild party at Gold Star Studios, Echo Chamber.
Anything to add?
No, it's a love story too. It's a family business, and yeah.
Exactly, yeah. We met in a tour then in Brazil in 2013, and yeah, we've been together ever since. So,
Celebrating 10 years.
Oh yeah, 10
this
years
year.
this year.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Awesome.
10 years from our first album.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have an anniversary.
You really have to check out the schedule of the Courettes, and it's really a tough schedule. They are literally playing everywhere. Which leads me to the question, are you the hardest working band in business?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, question, answer. Yes, of course. Really check it out. They are playing everywhere. It's like, in March you will be in the States again, right? So
Yes.
this is
Yes.
really something. Before we start talking about the current record, The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes, do you have like a favorite venue or a favorite town on tour where you always like to come back, which is some sort of favorite place?
Lido. We
Lido,
love
we
Lido.
really-
Oh, come on, you have to say that now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You say that everywhere. No, that's
No,
that's
but
actually
Lido
true.
is
We love
very
Berlin.
special. Yeah.
We love Berlin. We love Germany actually. We love Hamburg too. Stuttgart, and it's so many great cities to play in Germany, and it's quite near Denmark. So I mean we love playing. That's we live up what we love. But Berlin, Lido, it's great.
So listening to your records, and we talk about the the current one in a second, but I wonder, what is your approach in terms of composing and songwriting? Is there like for you a correct formula you stick to?
No, we don't have that. We write what we feel and what we experience and what happens in our lives, and good times, bad times, and we put it down in
Yeah,
in
maybe
albums.
that's the only rule. We write about things that happen in our lives, and so sometimes it's the lyrics that comes first, sometimes it's the first riff, sometimes I don't know, a drum rhythm. So no formula on this. In the process, is no formula.
I think you have to step a little bit nearer so we have you in the picture perfect. Okay, so let's talk about your current, the fourth record, The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes. It's perceived by fans and critics like highly positive. It's a really versatile, diverse record in terms of sound. And then we have like these straight rock and roll tracks like Here I Come, hip shaking, garish, like Shake, as the name says, Boom Boom Boom, which was done by the legendary producer Richard Gottehrer.
Yes.
So were you surprised that people, I mean, obviously you do a new record and hope people like it, but this one is really perceived very well. Were you surprised by the reactions of the fans and the critics?
Yeah, I think it surprised us the most actually, because after Back in Mono, which was like our milestone record so far in our career,
Yeah,
we were extremely worried of if we could. We always want to do better albums,
exactly.
so we were extremely worried. Are we going to be able to do a
Can we
better
beat
record?
that one?
Can we beat
And we
Back
did
in
it.
Mono?
So
And then it was fun because then the first song we were beginning to work on was
Shake?
no, it was not Shake. It was the Line Brooks.
Yeah, run
Run,
away.
Run.
Yeah, that
It
was the
Tick,
first
Tick,
song.
Tick.
Yeah,
That was the
that
first
was the
time.
first song.
So when we did Tick, 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 Run, Run, Run Away, which it is called on the album, we could tell, okay, we are on a really good path. Just with this first song done,
Yeah.
we could say, okay, we have a chance of doing a better album than Back in Mono.
But it's great that other people think so too.
Yes. It's always good.
You just mentioned the song "Run, Run, Run," which features Dolores Lalaboot from the Crystals, and I was surprised and flabbergasted by the fact that she's on that record. And the simple question is, how come? How did you contact her? How did she end up on the record?
Well, first we would like to say we're so pleased to have Lala on our album. You know, she's the voice in the Doom Run Run, one of our favorite songs ever. So it's a big honor to have her on board. And actually, because we were playing in New York, and Matt Vetteray and his wife Rocio Vetteray, thanks, we were just chatting. They came to our show, we were just having a chat, and we told them we would really like to collaborate with Lala. And then all of a sudden, like totally out of the blue, they said, "Oh, I just produced her last album, and I can make the bridge." So that was a surprise that happened in a New York show. So yeah, so he made the contacts that we own this to.
Awesome track. You really should check it out. Yes, Run, 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 the song on the new record, The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes. Which brings me to the next question. We already talked about your schedule, and I wonder, I mean, it's a really intense record, a lot of work you've put in there. How do you find the time writing, recording with that schedule? Do you do a lot while being on tour in different studios, or do you take a time off?
Because
No, we just don't sleep.
We never know how we.
We have no idea how we.
No, we have no idea because our schedules.
Well, actually, we work in the studio, not on tour, so yeah. Touring, studio.
Okay, but it's separate,
ideas all the time, of course. Yeah.
Like I expect California, the idea came maybe while touring too.
Yeah, so we got a lot of inspiration for this album
from the
USA tours. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it really captures the warmth of the state, right? When you listen to it.
That's what we wanted. Really wanted this California sound. We were.
And a lot of things. I mean, even the soul elements. Also, we visit, Studio A, the Motown studio.
I remember the picture. I think.
Oh my God! I get chills just remember it. It's so much musical energy going on. So we went to Stax Museum, Graceland. So really, I mean, All Greens Church, Gospel Church. So it really got a big impression on us. So it inspired us a lot for writing the song.
We just talked about briefly before we went live that Keep Dancing is my favorite track on the record.
Mine too, I think.
I wonder, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the creational process, how that song came into life.
Yeah, again, we had this beat where we really wanted this classic Motown beat. So it was
it started with the drums.
Yeah, it was. So we really wanted this.
It's a very nice, complex beat.
Super complex. We really went deep with we took a lot of Motown element, the fills and the drums and the rhythms and so we took so much. And then Søren, our producer, put on this beautiful Mellotron. Started working on the main theme of the song. Suddenly it happened. Then we did this killer verse, and then we did an even better chorus.
We had the verse ready, and we thought, shit, it's impossible to do a chorus.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do? And then I sit with the guitar, and that was it. So and the lyrics are very personal. So
it sounds
it's a very special song.
Talking about personal lyrics, that leads me to the songs "Don't Want You Back" and "Keep Dancing," and that's a question for you, Flavia. Here you deal with the difficult relationship you had with your father. He already died of Corona, I think, when I remember it right.
Yeah, that's
right. And so is that like a song for you, like a liberating coup, that you do a song in terms of feel freer afterwards, relating to the difficult person of your father?
Yes, it was a very cathartic process to write about this, So, and it was just because it was very recent. We were writing the album, started to write the songs for the album, and of course it was just, kept coming back, and we could not avoid that, this song and the two songs have this thematic. So it was painful. It was because he died, and I hadn't seen him in many years. He was totally abandoned me and my sister, and it was just weird because when he died, it was so many ghosts that just came back to my head. So that was a nice closing of a very sad story. But I'm happy that we have music to explore our feelings and also touch other people. Like you like the song too, so you can feel the emotions behind it. So that's a big like power of a liberating power and a healing process that music has.
And I was really happy to hear that you also, when you DJ, you actually played this song for a dancing crowd, which is fantastic how it can be used for the bad times, but you can also do the celebration times and have a good time dancing and especially this is exactly what we wanted to do. We want this song, which is a heartbreak song, but you can dance, you can have a good time. You can be empowered, you can say fuck off to an ex, you can use this song so many ways. So
it's a positive song, it's assertive and it's healing, and it's breaking free from stuff that bring you down.
What more can you ask for of a song, right?
Yeah.
That's all that.
Right.
The last song of the record, For Your Love, you can be both heard singing.
Yes.
And we already, or you introduced yourself that this is a family business, you're a couple.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the question, like, being on tour all the time, like load in, load out, waiting, show at night,
waiting a
lot. How do you manage being a couple and being on tour and still get along?
Yeah, I think it's probably because we have bands before, many bands before, and we know how things can go wrong on a tour, especially when you have this, tour schedule we have. And us, I mean, with the Courettes, we're not only a band, but we're also a couple and we're also family. So we really have to take good care of it. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot. So I think it's about respect. And, everybody has bad days. It's stressful to be on the road. But if there is respect, so you can really go a long way.
Yeah, totally right.
And also for the bands out there, because, everybody says the band's like a marriage. Yeah. So, take care of each other.
You are actually.
You are. Oh my God.
I don't want to get too nerdy here, but let's talk about the instruments. I remember this picture from this Java guitar shop in Copenhagen with the Rickenbacker, and I think the drums are Ludwig, right?
Yes and no, not today,
not
but
today.
I also have a 60s Ludwig at home here.
He has many kids.
Yeah.
Can you tell that?
No, it's only 3 left. Yeah, 2 left.
How important is the choice of the instruments for you in terms of the correct sound? Well, in general, the equipment, maybe we broaden the question.
Yeah, so we've always been really nerdy with vintage gear.
Yes.
So that's what we've been doing the most. We had this really strict dogmas for years. We loosened up a little bit now as we are touring so much.
Yeah, they have.
So now we have to, have more reliable instruments. So actually, Flavia's guitars from Fab Guitars in Belgium is a brand new hand built, but looking vintage.
We have
Same with the drums from DRS in Denmark, and looks like Ludwig from the 60s. And but it's brand new, so it's really strong, sturdy for the road. So.
And we keep that stuff in the studio. The vintage guitars. Actually, the Selma is maybe the most vintage.
Oh yeah, that's 1963.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's my amplifier, and that's amazing. All the time I have to play with a box or something like this. You say, okay, it's good, but it's not like this. So it's very important, of course.
Another question I ask all the artists and bands that we have here for the Dodo Beach Shop Talk. For an artist like you, is it still possible to survive on selling records, or is playing live and selling merch essential?
Yes.
It's we sell a lot of records, luckily.
Yes.
So that's really helps the everything is going. And
I think nowadays most musicians get their money from live shows.
Yeah.
In all levels, superstars and also upcoming bands. But we also sell records, and we have also a great record label, Damage Goods Records.
Which is a great label.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to mention it. Damage Goods. Shout out to Damage Goods.
Yeah, exactly. So and we play a lot. So people who like the show, they want to buy the stuff in our merch. So we're very happy to. Actually, we sell a lot of records, and most people think, but how it is selling records nowadays because of the Spotify. I think it depends on the kind of audience you have. Because mostly people who take the Courettes, they are record collectors. They have record players at home. So it's we have Spotify too and all that, but you don't get any money out of Spotify. No. It's a nightmare. That's why the musicians are out there playing, because the money you get from Spotify is like for 6 months. If you sell one record, probably you get more money The other one is Spotify. So,
I hear that
so
quite often.
yeah, exactly. So you know,
Can
so
buy a coffee from
please
it.
buy records from the bands you love.
Last question before we come to the signing session, and this is quite easy question, or maybe not. What is your philosophy about music?
Oh, the philosophy. Oh, that's a deep question.
I know.
I think music, as we said, it has this power of healing. So we really like this catharsis that only music can. I mean, that feeling. You know, we're kind of addicted to that energy, to that feeling that only a rock show. I mean, a live show. Maybe people can have it with other kinds of music. We went to the gospel church of El Green. That was also amazing. I mean, that's also rock, right? Gospel, but you know, this cathartic. When I was a kid, first went to a show. That feeling is the feeling I always try to you know, give it up to people too, because that's the healing. You can go out of your, you know, daily life, your jobs and all this, you know, and you just have this magic moment that it's all about the music and the communion. So I think it's that feeling. I think it's the most important.
Yeah, it's a really strong power. It can do so many, as we talk about keep dance now. You can be sad with music, and you can be strong with music, and you can be happy with music. It has such a big power. So, and it gives us a big power because we can be exhausted just before a show, and then the second we start, something.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Something kicks off inside to it,
Yes.
which is really, we don't know what it is. So
It's maybe love and music. It's the most powerful things that exist, you know. And also music is the real universal language. You know, we play all over. We went to Japan. People are exactly like us, and they dig the music we do. We will go to USA, you know, South America. You know, people. It's the language that people everywhere, or animals, or you know, babies. Everybody understands. So that's the language of, you know, human beings.
Even
The
unborn
real-
babies. realize.
Even unborn babies kick in, when you're here in your belly. So I mean, that's the most beautiful thing about music.
Love and Music. Was für tolle Wörtersätze zum Schluss. Wir sind aber noch nicht ganz am Ende. Heute machen wir nämlich zum ersten Mal was beim Dodo Beat Shop Talk, was wir ab jetzt weiterführen wollen. Wir haben hier die Platte The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes, veröffentlicht über Damage Good Records. Und Flavia und Martin werden die hier jetzt unterschreiben. Und wenn das Reel dann online geht, könnt ihr nachlesen, wie ihr diese ganz wunderbare Platte gewinnen könnt. So, ich lege die einmal auf den Tisch und werde mal hier so ein bisschen mit nach unten gehen. The Soul of the Fabulous Courettes hier beim Dodo Beat Shop Talk. Exclusively signed and as a giveaway afterwards.
Ta-da.
Here we go. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Martin
Matthias.
and Flavia the
Thank you
Courettes.
so much, yes.
Thank you so much. Mein Name ist Matthias Hufnagl, das ist aber gar nicht wichtig. Wichtig sind The Courettes, Flavia und Martin. Thank you. Und goodbye. See you next time. Dodo Beach Records Shop Talk. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Vielen Dank.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you soon at Berlin.
Einen